Yo, 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 what's happening? We up in the hizzle. Up in the hiz. Just refreshing so I can get my link. And post it on X. We live. And then I'm going to get this link. And we're going to take that to the Telegram while we get started here. I have yet to remove that. Prime XBT is not responding to me anymore, so I mean, I've got a BitGet link. Go use the BitGet link, I guess. Prime doesn't want me doesn't want to talk to me no more, apparently. It must be the dip, right? And this is funny. I wanted to start with this today. You know, if you want to support the channel, just check out the links in the description. And if you want to join the Telegram, it's $20 now, so you just got to DM me at ANJOII on TG. Anyways, let's get started. So I wanted to start with this. That's a nice asset you've got there. It would be a shame if I were to speak positively about it. So Kramer came on saying that Bitcoin looks good. Basically, ever since that post, the markets have dumped. Let's get the charts up and show you what I'm talking about. You know, it always opens on this one and it just looks good. You know, it's a good start to the day. But let's get back to our stream charting and we can see some lines that we have drawn. There's that big dingus line. Oh yeah, I guess this is... Oh, this is Solana. That makes more sense. But Solana looks good. Doesn't it? Doesn't that just look really good? A nice little flag right here. See if it can do something like that. And the next leg's probably going to lead into the 300s here, folks. So we had a bit of a dip, the Kramer dip. We'll go on a 1 hour, I guess. That'll be enough for you to see it, because on a 4 hour you're not really seeing much. I guess you see a bit of a dip yet. So let's check out Bitcoin. The corn. This is what we were talking about. Sheesh. I guess we'll start with a broader view of USDT.D. I do want to do a pretty quick stream tonight, so I'm just going to do kind of like a quick stroke. It's Sunday night here, and I figured it would be a good time to just give it a little update. Because I know there's a lot of people that are they're feeling frightened. But this is a good retest we had on USDT.D. And it's rejecting off there now, which is nice to see. So, yeah, it'd be nice to see this continue to the downside. And then, same thing, we kind of had a bounce in BTC dominance while the alts got wrecked more in this little dip that we had. So I don't know, maybe my lines are off. I don't know. We didn't continue up that fractal. We could try to reassess this fractal. Maybe that's kind of closer. Maybe that's more like it. It didn't really spike up that way though, but the consolidation looks similar, so I would just use it as that. You know, similar consolidation, similar patterns, right? The way that it spikes up and then does this kind of sideways grind up. So similar consolidation, I think, patterns is what we're looking at, right? That at least I think makes more sense to me. These fractals don't have to be absolutely perfect. It's like you're looking at the same trend through a different lens. So that's what I would consider. That these can be altered a little bit here and there, stretched and skewed just to make sense of it, right? Because this, like, there's a lot in that, and this looks very similar to that. It just happened a little bit higher, right? We didn't have this straight push and then consolidate. We had a push and then a push and then consolidate. So that's kind of why this beginning sort of area is going to look different. So yeah, BTC is looking strong still though. You know, it looked like we were going up a little bit higher. And that's where we drew the flag, but that didn't happen, so let's get rid of those. I'm not even sure why we had this line on here. That's a weird looking line. I don't know where it came from or why it's like that. That's more the line we're looking at, right? Or the flag, if you want to call it that, whatever channel. We had a little down channel, and we're breaking out of it now, it looks like, right? So the corn looks good. You know, on a 4 hour, we just tagged into this zone and moved. Which is, you know, we've done that before during this trend. We haven't really dipped into it, but we didn't close within it on a 4 hour close. So we're still in a very strong uptrend. You can see that it is like it's taking a bit of a, it's flattening out a little bit. You know, I think worst case would be kind of like this to see some construction. But like this is kind of the best case scenario that we have this sort of, you know, push up. It'll push up, it'll flag down, and then it'll break the flag and retest the flag, the channel, and then move up out of there and then send. That's what we'd like to see for strength. Worst case, again, you know, we'd see kind of a little bit of weakness here, and it do this sort of inverted head and shoulders pattern, and then just trend up out of that before it breaks to a new all-time high. Yeah, so I'll just leave those on there. I think that's nice. We could leave this too. Yeah, that's those are my thoughts on the cornholio, and we called that really well right around here too. We talked about the construction of this and how it's sent out. Really played right into our zones. Switch to daily. Yeah, so like we're peaking right on the 100. I think that's what we looked at from here. From the breakout, probably. So then from the breakout, it should actually go up 110 at least, I think is kind of what I'm looking at next. 110 at least. So ETH, BTC, people were saying this is making its lows here or whatever. And it is, it's showing some signs of, you know, broke this downtrend. Now we're moving up. We want to see it recover this. 0.35 still, 0.035. We need to see it recover that. Move up to 0.04 to start looking constructive to the upside. But yeah, I mean, ETH's looking pretty okay, right? It's coming back up, and it's going to go push for these all-time highs, and we want to see that for all alts, right? For all alts' sake, we want to see that happen. So we broke that consolidation up. You know, we didn't reject here yet, so it's looking pretty okay. ETH could make a comeback. But then you got things like Solana ETH. I mean, it broke the megaphone, and it's kind of just basing on the top of this trend line. Should get a little more picky actually with that trend line, because it looks like it's not basing. It's actually under the trend line for the megaphone pattern. But I don't think it matters, because I think really what's happening is it's flagging right here. So I want to see something like that play out to get us out of here. But this could be like a rejection point as well if Ethereum really starts moving back into kind of this zone. We'll see. We'll see the differences, but I know Sol BTC is looking actually much nicer because it's above that trend line. Right, so like we had this retest, and I think it goes from there. That was the retest I laid out on the green line there. Right, out of here, retest. Came out, retest. Yeah, Sol dominance not making it out of this, but it's in a really nice spot right here. It's just we're seeing volatility, and when we see volatility on all coins, altcoins are going to be a little more volatile. Sol USD though, look at that one, eh? So following that trend from kind of the beginning of the major trend on Solana, it broke below it, came back above, broke below again, and then it came and really broke back up through when it made this recent push. Yeah, I don't think we get that low. I think it goes up from here. We must have that line drawn on there for a while though. So yeah, that's what we had lined up on Sol. I think we talked about it right at the beginning. Right at the beginning of the stream, we showed you this flag and said we're looking for something to push out of here. And it looks like it's forming a nice big W right now, actually, so it could push up right out of here from where it's at. There's a lot of strength on Solana, I believe. We're noticing, again, where it's at with BTC, like Sol BTC, and this, looking at this trend line being broken. I think once we push up back to this 260 all-time high range, it's going to do the same thing as Bitcoin and just send through it. And then it's not going to stop. It's going to lag up, and it's going to show us, you know, price discovery, how far Solana's really ready to go. Yeah, that was kind of the all-time high. You know, we've seen that spike in volume there, right? So I think expecting the same sort of thing, but it's all going to be green. Just like a spike in volume going up. It's interesting to see certain things react, right? Like that was the original flag we drew of that first little dip after it touched all-time high almost, or it did. And then we could look at another one right here even. I bet you this interacts in a certain way almost too. It's super close to interacting with that. It'd probably make more sense if we did this. Yeah. And you can see the intersection of all these. That's kind of where, that's where the volatility hits. But again, the most important one now is just the recent downtrend. And you can see how it interacted with it here. And rejected. And then overcame it quite quickly. So that's the projection we have coming out of here. It could take a little bit of time. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm talking about, right? Just a spike up through 285. That makes sense. It's kind of like this one. 213 to 242. Trying to make stuff fit, like it's just leave it like right there. Just that's gonna be the next leg up, I think, on Solana. It's gonna look something like that. ZERP, same sort of thing I'll be watching for on ZERP. Can we fight this trend line and break it? Kind of the ZERP. I wouldn't want to see it lose this. I think that shows like an inverted head and shoulders type pattern if it holds it. ADA. It's like dino season, you know? Look at this. XLM, ADA, and ZERP. They're all running like crazy. This one ran really crazy. 380% in like a week for XLM. And I think this is part of the Gary Gensler ousting. 100%. Yeah, 100%. Basically, like all these dinos made a big move after Gary Gensler filing his resignation thing there. So, yeah, looking at total. Let's do real lines because it's like, I don't know. I don't mind using the brush here and there, but like, I think too much brush. It's a little too out of structure. Again, I mean, you can see this kind of on ZERP. This is really where you don't really want to see it lose this level too much. Like a little spike's okay. I guess it could do something like that. and do one more spike before continuing. But what I prefer to see is like something like that, more constructive. Either just out of here or like a little rejection. Something like that. Either way, I think this kind of area, look to clear that area. Look to clear it, and things will look a lot nicer for everything. Alt season, altcoins. Let's look at the alt season. Alt season index. That's what we want to see. This thing has some metrics. Sorry to blind you. Oh my god, that blinded me too. But this has the metrics sort of in it. It's got the metrics in it. And we can see here in sort of November to December to January, the big step that it made. And I mean, you could chart this and you could look at it on a more recent trend. I wish I could draw my screen, but you can see it if you connect this high right here and this high right here. It's going to project a line down this way. And it's probably going to be like right here that it intersects. Right? Something like that. Either way, it seems that we're just above that intersection, I would say. And above 50, people are gonna, I mean, people are positioning already, we can see because of the Dino coins moving, but I think the positioning will really start to get more aggressive above 50. If we take for experience what happened in the 2021 cycle, it kind of jumped from 40 to like 50 very quickly. And then after that, you know, it sat above 50 and then got aggressive. When was that? March. But this whole time between January, like as soon as it was over, this is when I remember Doge really started to move at first. It was right near the end of January as it crossed 50. That's when people started to aggressively position into things like meme coins, degenerate gamble plays. That's when we seen SafeMoon start. SafeMoon popped off around March, early March. So it was just above this 50. There was Doge. I remember Doge was huge. It popped to like 20 mil overnight, you know, and that was big for back then, for ETH stuff. And boom, after that, you know, from March to April, it was absolute crazy season. Like things were going insane. And, you know, back then, SafeMoon going to like a few billion was insane. We had Peanut go to $1 billion in 9 days. So just imagine what over this blue sort of line is going to do for alts. It's going to get absolutely insane in here. So we are waiting for above sort of 50 to tell us that. But, you know, from what I've been saying is positioning inside of this green sort of box has been pretty good overall. If you consider that, you know, we broke out of this and then we moved very viciously up after that, this whole green box that I've drawn out for you guys is a good time to position in. But yeah, I think I might have to rebox this a little bit higher. Our all-time highs for total 3, which is excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, 1.13 billion. So I think kind of 2x that is what I'm thinking now. That's 2.26. Now this could happen by sort of end of April. And if that happens, that's going to leave a lot of people not prepared for this. It's possible that nobody's prepared for this insane amount of vertical that can happen. It's very possible. But I would look for something like this. Okay. Total 2. This is including Ethereum. You know, broke out of this, as we said. Broke out of all-time highs there, looking really nice, looking unsy. But even this, you know, 1.7 trillion to like 3.5-ish. That's kind of the range potentially for this. So that would leave total, I think, you know, I would think around 5 trillion. Considering Bitcoin continues growing. That's kind of like, I think that's kind of like my lower case. That's like base kind of case. Base bearish almost. And then I would look at like 7.5 and 10 as kind of like the next intersections. Just to look for in those larger evaluations. But yeah, it's been 27 minutes. The one thing I'd say is watch out for this week on GME as well. Could really push up out of here. And of course, all the meme coins that I talk about. I haven't talked about any meme coins tonight. They're in some major dips, guys. All these memes are in major dips. So it's kind of like pick what one you like the most and just ape something. It's kind of crazy though, all of our lines played out. I want to actually show you guys this because all of our lines really played out. Look at how well these lines held. Look at that. This one I didn't really have a lower line. But if we would have made a trader main box range of the down candle before the up move that broke market structure, and it came back to retest it, and so like once it broke market structure here, we came to retest. Now we should really be off to the races with even something like Nero. Seeing this above almost 10 mil, while the other Nero is at like $1 billion. It seems crazy to me because that one did launch like way after this one, and it was just like race of the Neros, you know. But the community's still strong in here, still like they're wilding out. This thing made 120 mil, so when everything rips, this will be a nice bag to cop a little chunk of. 5 mil to 100 mil is a 20x, so that's not bad. This one, Project Aeon, the FUD of Murad, and like I said, we're bouncing. This is kind of the inverted head and shoulders play. And again, this one had 16.5 mil. It's 10x to all-time high from here. Doge Father, we had the Look at how well these lines are working out. This is the 786, 886 sort of last line of resistance. But it works. Look, like it bounced off here. It did come back into the zone, but it's bouncing again. Look at this line. Bounced off it. Bounced off it. It's having a hard time, and it's rejecting around that 11. That's what I was saying. It needs to overcome that. And it's working on it. It spiked up to 15 mil from the low of 5. I've been streaming about this one. That's a 3x from the lows here. I drew the box. I showed you guys the range. Up only. This one's, it's not exactly respecting this box, but you can see this is the resistance. We want to see this turn into support. When you see that get overcome, this thing's ready to run. This thing is ready to run. I think it looks great. That's a test pump. Now it's going to do the real pump. And what's this? Look at that. 45, 4.5. This is another 10x. These are really good. Like, I mean, you don't have to put a lot into these. You can put $100 in, make 1,000. Moo Dang, we were looking at this triple range trajectory here just recently with the box range of the down candle before the up move that broke market structure, talking the trader main here, and it bounced right off that box. So Moo Dang's looking nice and unsy. Goat, we wanted to check out Goat. Same sort of thing. Look at that box. And it's respecting. But I want to see it come back through this. I want to see it come back through. You know, I did it like that. So it kind of makes sense, but realistically it should be like this. Because that's its true starting trend. Either way, Goat, yeah, looking like a good entry. 1.3. I mean, that's almost a 2x. GME, it didn't exactly respect as it should. But the one thing I see here is this. The down candle before the up move that broke market structure. And we can make that a different color just so we know. So this is the down. It's the exact same box we got going. Right, that's the whole down move, was box edge to box edge. Before it broke market structure, it came back into this box. You know, worst case you see it, we'll retest kind of the mid zone. And it's right at 30 mil is the mid zone. See where it acted as resistance before? It failed as support. Acted as resistance, failed as support. And then it finally succeeded to pump through it. Now we want to make sure that this gets created into support. I don't see it going as low as 30 mil, but 30 mil for support. It looks nice from what it's previously interacted with here. I had it lower here, like right there. But I think 30 mil is kind of psychological, right? Because it's a round number. Psychological resistance for the round number. And you know, when we look at a lower time frame, this is what's happening. It's just about to peak out of here. And again, if we see Jimmy running big tomorrow, this one's gonna move. That's gonna move. Out of the flag. Alright, I gave you guys an extra 8 minutes of meme coins, and now I'm out. Check out the links, donate, whatever, do whatever. If you want to support me, support me. If you don't, whatever, man. I'm giving you all this free content, all these free, amazing plays, all this amazing information and alpha inside of the group. I'm pulling up these tweets, looking for the S1s. Is what we're looking for, right? Find the alts leaving S1 and not sell in the middle of S2. Let your trades play out. Until the next show, it's Andy's Crypto Talk. Trade safe.